Russia-Ukraine live updates. Wave of drones strikes Ukraine's energy infrastructure. More than 6 months after Russian President Vladimir Putin launched an invasion into neighboring Ukraine, the two countries are engaged in a struggle for control of areas throughout eastern and southern Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, whose forces began an offensive in August, has vowed to take back all Russian-occupied territory. But Putin in September announced a mobilization of reservists, which is expected to call up as many as 300,000 additional troops. About a third of Ukraine's power stations have been destroyed by Russian attacks in the last week, President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Tuesday. Since October 10, 30% of Ukraine's power stations have been destroyed, causing massive blackouts across the country, he said on Twitter. No space left for negotiations with Putin's regime. 13 people were killed in a fire after a Russian fighter jet crashed into a residential area in Yeysk, Russia, the TASS news service reported. Rescuers have completed clearing the debris, a member of the emergency services told Russia's state-owned news agency. 10 bodies were found during rescue activities, which brings the total number of deaths to 13 people, including 3 children. 19 people were injured in the emergency situation. The Su-34 fighter plane crashed during a training flight on Monday night, Russian officials said. The jet's fuel started a fire that engulfed a 9-story residential building in flames, Russia said. Air raid sirens went off in Kiev for more than 3 hours on Tuesday, as Russia launched a wave of strikes targeting energy infrastructure across Ukraine. At least 3 incoming strikes were confirmed by the authorities in Kiev. A power plant on the city's left bank was hit, knocking out power for some residents in that area. Some locals said they didn't have running water. Kiev officials did not say whether there were casualties. It was also unclear whether the plant was hit by a missile or a drone. Both types of weapons were reportedly heading towards Kiev, but some were shot down. Russian missiles and drones struck other targets across Ukraine on Tuesday, officials said. Russia struck energy infrastructure in both Zhytomyr and Dnipro, knocking out power and running water for some residents, officials said. There was serious damage, Dnipro's governor said. Russian forces launched 8 missiles on Kharkiv from Belgorod, Russia, this morning, according to the governor. They hit several districts of the city, the official said. Zaporizhzhia was attacked by Russian drones last night, the governor said. 1 infrastructure object was damaged, along with a warehouse. No casualties were reported. Russian missiles struck targets in Mykolaiv that included a residential building, President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Tuesday. A person died, Zelensky said on Twitter. There was also a strike at the flower market, the Chestnut Park. I wonder what the Russians were fighting against at these peaceful facilities.